Hi folks, welcome to Laguna National Golf Club. I'm here with young Annika, and today we're going to talk about how to get your child set up for a great golf shot. So we're going to look at the grip and the stance. Now firstly, when you teach your child how to get the grip right, there's one key fundamental that you need to do. Well, there's a couple, but there's one key one, and I'll show you that shortly. But first of all, you take your glove hand or your leading hand or your top hand. Now we're both right-handed players, so that's our left hand, and we put the golf club squarely on the ground. With our top hand, we just put it down so our thumb is running straight down the center of the shaft. Grip it in the fingers with the fleshy part of the palm on top. Now as you look down on your grip, I want you to see one or two knuckles. So I think in Annika's case, we can just turn that a fraction so she can see one or two knuckles. Now the thumb runs straight down the grip, and as we put our right hand on, which is going to be joined together, for your kids it doesn't really matter. Let's have a 10-finger, an interlock grip or an overlap grip. It doesn't really matter as long as they're joined together. And then as we put the club on, we're going to cover that thumb over. So I want to make sure that your thumb is fully covered over. Now here's a great trick so that you know if you or your kids have got that grip correct. Get yourself a marker pen, and I want you just to put a little black dot right in the middle of your thumb. See that? Now every time we look down on that, if we can see that, we're not gripping it correctly. So let me pop one here on Annika's glove. All right, there it is. So when you look down, if you can see that, you just need to move your hand over. So once we establish how to take a good grip, we need a stance. So our feet are about shoulder width apart with a little bend in the knees. Okay, perfect. Back straight, butt out. From that side, there you go. Looks like this. Okay, now once we've got that, the ball's roughly in the center of our stance with a 7-iron, and away we go, we're ready to hit. So let's get Annika in there. Okay, let's show us how you do your grip from the start, Annika. Okay, thumb in the center, little black dot, we're going to cover that over. Perfect, great trick. Stance looks good. I think we're ready to hit. Oh wow, what a great shot. That was a good one and a beautiful finish. All right, you did really good. Well done, that's nice. So what we need to do, remember those tips when you're at home? For you and your kids, let's get that grip perfect and you're going to hit golf shots like that. Hi folks, today we're going to talk to you about how to play a golf shot when the ball is above your feet. Now when the ball is above your feet on the fairway, there's a couple of considerations that you're going to have to make to your stance and your swing to make sure that you get a successful result. The first thing being is that when it is above your feet, the ball will have a tendency to draw, which meaning for me as a right-handed golfer, it's going to move around from right to left in the air. The reason it does that is because when I take my stance and swing, with the ball above my feet, my swing plane is tendency to be a lot flatter. A normal swing on a flat ground will be a little bit more upright, and that is what you're used to, and that's how you normally hit it straight. But above your feet is a little flatter. So what we're going to do is aim 15 yards to the right of the target. So once I've taken my aim, I'm going to take basically the same ball position, which is in the center of my stance for a shot of this length, about 135 meters. Same ball position. One thing I am going to do though is stand a touch closer to the ball. The reason I'm doing that, again, is to try and get my swing plane a little bit more up, which won't put as much side spin on it because I know I'm going to hook it. So aim a touch to the right, about 15 yards for this shot. Stand a little closer. You can notice I've also gripped down a touch because I'm closer, and I'm basically ready to go. Okay, so that was a pretty good shot. It came out hooking nicely around to the flag. Pretty good result from an unusual situation. Hi folks, I've just hit a great drive down the centre of the fairway, and as you can see my ball's come to rest on a sprinkler head. Now without getting too technical, I'm going to run you through the procedure that you need to go through when your ball is on the sprinkler head or your stance is affected by the sprinkler head. Now the same instance, apart from a sprinkler head, you could be on a drain or a cart path through the green, which means on any part of the golf course, and you are entitled to relief. So what you need is 3 tees or 3 coins or 3 markers. First thing you must do is mark the exact position of the golf ball, because when I drop it, it cannot go forward of that point. So once I've done that, I then need to establish where the nearest point of full relief is, which means I cannot stand on it and my club cannot hit the sprinkler head. So my nearest point of full relief is probably not this side. It's going to be this side in this instance. It's going to be a few inches inside the ball. So for comfort relief, I would say here, where it's not going to really affect me whatsoever. So I've marked that point. From here, I go to my golf bag. I'm allowed 1 club length from that point that I must drop the ball within. So I'll take my longest club, being my driver, and I'll mark out a club length. I can go in any direction I want, as long as it's not closer to the hole. So I could drop up here, I could drop around here. I've marked this point with another tee. Now I'm ready to go. I can drop it. I know if it stays behind that tee, I'm going to be safely within the rules and use them to my advantage. So I take my ball from here, I make my drop, and as you can see now, my ball is rolling. Now, it's not quite in front of the original point to the flag, so in actual fact my ball is okay. Now once my ball touches the ground and rolls, it's allowed to roll up to 2 club lengths. Don't worry if it doesn't stay in the tee. It can roll up to 2 club lengths from where it touched the ground, and you're okay as long as you're not in front of the original point. So if you do roll in front of the original point, you must re-drop it, and if it rolls again, you then place it. So there's the way you can get out of a situation. I'm ready to go here now, so I'm going to carry on playing. Catch you later. Hi folks, as you can see, I've just run over the green and now I've got to play a shot to get it back up this slope and stop it to that short pin. The shot I'm going to elect to play today is called the flop shot. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind when you're going to play this shot successfully. Let me go through them with you. The first thing you need to do is choose a club that is going to get the ball up in the air. So I've taken my sand wedge. Now my 60-degree sand wedge is the club with the most loft. So what I do when I address the ball with my 60-degree sand wedge, it's not quite like a normal pitch shot, it's a little bit different. What we're going to do is, rather than have my normal 60 degrees of loft, I'm actually going to open that club face right up. So I just turn the club face a little bit open. That'll give me, say, 75 degrees, which is going to even make this get up and stop a little quicker. Now when I take my stance, I put my feet slightly to the left and I put the ball position towards my left foot. That means I can catch the ball on the upswing and spin it a little bit more to get it to stop fast. So once I take my setup and my stance, I need to just make a really smooth swing and just accelerate through the ball. So as you can see, my feet are a touch left. I'm going to swing across the ball and get it up fast. Okay, now that was a great shot. So remember, the key fundamentals to this shot are: take the club with the most loft, increase the loft, add a little bit more loft to it, place it on the inside of your left foot so you can catch a little bit more on the up and spin the ball, and I'm sure you're going to save a lot of shots around the golf course. Hi folks, today I'm going to talk to you and specifically aim at the senior golfer. Most senior golfers that I meet and I play with in the Pro-Ams and I see it on the driving range all want a little bit more yardage. So here's an idea for you, and I'll show you a definite way that's going to help you get a little bit of that. So what we have to do to get more yardage is we're going to abbreviate our stance, we're going to abbreviate our grip, and we're going to make sure our ball position is the right spot to maximize the power that we get with the club. So I've got my alignment stick set up, and this will just identify the changes that I'm going to make in the stance and setup. So first thing we're going to do, rather than have our feet parallel to the target, we're going to drop our right foot back a little bit. What this is going to encourage is it's going to encourage a little bit more hip turn. Now with a little bit more hip turn, I can create a lot more speed on the way down, and of course speed is going to equal distance. So with that in mind, our next step of the setup will be just to strengthen our grip. Rather than have the grip down the center, our thumb down the center, we're just going to turn it a little bit to the right, and that'll increase the club head speed on the way through. Now everything I'm talking about is encouraging a draw. A draw is the longest shot in golf, and that's what you're going to have to look at playing if you struggle with distance. So once we get that in mind, the last piece of advice is to get the ball position a touch more forward. We can catch the ball on the up, getting the right spin rate, encouraging our draw, and getting a lot of roll. So take our stance, foot back, stronger grip, ball position's now in front. Just make your swing. You're going to turn more, you're going to use your hands more, and that's pretty long. That's gone out long, that's going to roll forever. So I think you can use those at home. Try them out, I'm sure you're going to get more yardage. Whoa, 4! Oh dear, I might have lost that ball. Let me run you through the procedure of hitting a provisional ball. Now when you're in doubt about losing your golf ball, you think you may not find it, you're allowed to hit a provisional golf ball. A ball that will replace the one that you've lost without having to come back and play another one once you do lose it. So the procedure to do that is very simple. All you need to do is get another golf ball out of your golf bag. Now that golf ball cannot be the same markings or the same number as the ball I've just hit. So I've got another numbered golf ball out, and I'm going to mark it slightly different to that one that I just hit off the tee. Now that's just in case that I hit them both very close together. I know which one was my first and second ball. Now the second part of this is very important. You must tell your playing partners that you're going to hit a provisional ball. Guys, I'm going to hit a provisional ball. For the Titleist 1 I hit, I'm going to hit a Titleist 2 with a different mark. Now there'll be no objection to that. So now this ball will be in play only once I've officially lost that. So I'm going to hit this down the fairway. It's basically just a little bit of insurance that when I do lose that other ball, I can just go straight to the next one. All right, let's smack it down there. I think I can probably hit it a bit straighter, I hope, on this one. Okay, that's pretty good. We should find that one. Now, once I go down the fairway, I've got 5 minutes from the time I arrive to where I think my ball is to find it. If I can't find it within the 5 minutes, I then have to play the provisional ball, and that ball will come in play with a 1-stroke penalty. So it's my third stroke. I've hit 2 off the tee and I've got a penalty stroke. So there's a little bit of fun for your provisional ball. Use it and you can save some time when you play golf. The unplayable lie. Well, it looks like I've found myself in a really difficult situation. My golf ball is up against the tree. I can't advance the ball at all. So I'm left with no option but to call the rule of unplayable lie. Now for a penalty stroke of 1, I've got 3 options what I can do in this situation. I can either take the unplayable lie option and go back down the fairway and replay the stroke. Option 2 is I can keep this point in line with the flag stick and go back to any point on the course directly in line as far as I want and then hit over to the flag. However, I think the best situation, the best scenario for me is option 3. In this situation where I'm going to take 2 club lengths relief, which will get me away from the tree with a clear shot to the pin. So let me just run through that. I'm going to mark my ball. I go to my bag, I take my driver, which is my longest club, which is obviously going to give me the most amount of relief. And I measure 2 club lengths, which is no nearer the hole whatsoever. Remember, in golf you can never go closer to the hole. I'll mark that. Now, as I said, with a penalty stroke of 1, I'm going to drop the ball and it will be in play from where it finishes. So take my drop, make sure I drop it slightly behind the tee. Pretty good. Everything's in order now. Now, under a penalty of 1 stroke, I've just taken an unplayable lie. I've got away from the tree with a clear shot. So make sure next time you're playing, use the rules to your advantage. They are there to help you. Wow, that was an interesting scenario. Our stationary ball has been hit by the incoming ball and it's been moved. So what are we going to do in this situation? Well, if we see it happen, we must do something. So what we're going to do is we've got to put the stationary ball back to its original position as best we can guess it. So this one's moved to probably a couple of feet, the stationary ball. So we're going to pop it back to where it originally was. Ball 2, or the incoming ball, stays where it was. They're the rules. It's as simple as that. So use the rules to your advantage and you'll enjoy your golf a little bit more.